I'm Sylvia Lim. People know me best, I think, as the chair of the Workers' Party of Singapore. I'm also the Member of Parliament for Aljunied GRC. In the past, I had worked in various roles, including being a polytechnic lecturer, being a lawyer in private practice, and prior to that as a law enforcement officer. People often ask me that whether I felt, extra stressed or discriminated against as a female politician, but I always tell them that my experience has not been that way. And in fact, I do find it advantageous sometimes, quite often in fact, because there are so few of us compared to the men that people tend to remember you. And I remember that when I first became known as someone who had joined the Workers' Party leadership, there was intense interest in me compared to my male counterparts. It was not because I was more qualified than them or anything of that nature, but simply because there were so few women to feature. So, contrary to what people may think, my own experience has been that it is actually an advantage. Speaking for our party, the Workers' Party, I do see significant numbers of women coming forward to be volunteers with the party. That's very healthy, and even to be party members. But I think quite often when it comes to considering being a candidate at the general election, there seem to be many other hurdles to cross. Partly because becoming a candidate is a much more public role. The scrutiny will be at the national level. You can expect that people who don't like you will try to find fault with you, and you have to be able to stand up to that. And at the same time, your family members and those close to you, they also have to walk that journey with you. And sometimes it can be more difficult for them than for you yourself. So many women, I find that, because there are so many stakeholders in their lives, and they feel obligated to many people. So crossing the bridge to become a candidate requires so much more thinking and introspection. So I find that that is something that is not so prevalent in men, because somehow men seem to have an easier time making such decisions, and then once such a decision has been made, the whole village just rallies behind them, you see. So we want that to happen with women too. I think society as a whole needs to work together for that. I think that the environment has to nurture freedom of choice in women, meaning that women should not feel guilty or more guilty if they, say, have to compromise on time spent with loved ones in order to go out there to serve the general public. I mean, it should be the same for women and men. We still have to work towards that. Speaking for myself, I've never regretted my decision. It has not been smooth sailing, as you all know, all these years. We've had hard times, but we've also had exhilarating moments. So it kind of comes with the territory. And I feel that I'm fortunate to have been given the opportunity to walk this journey, to experience the highs and lows, because I don't think any other career choice that I could have made could have let me see so much of life. I think sometimes those of us who are very geared towards wanting to do high quality things, we tend to be our worst enemy. We tend to criticize ourselves severely when things maybe don't go as we planned or didn't go that well for some reason. So the best advice I got from someone whom I shall not name is, you need to cut yourself some slack, right? And as people are beginning to learn, we have to give everyone credit sometimes for just turning up, because not everyone will turn up to do this thing. So give yourself credit for turning up. Okay, there will be hiccups, there'll be problems, but just pick yourself up, learn and move on.